Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and today we're going to be playing some Factorio, as per usual. Except not. I've not streamed for quite a while. In fact, streaming has become not really a thing for me. I just need to check. So certainly that's working. Do we have audio from the game? We do. That seems to be coming through. That's good. Just have to bear with me. As I say, not been streaming for a while, so just need to check everything is happening. That's on there, so why is that not on there? Let me just refresh that 1 second. Yeah, that's coming through now. That's good. Cool, cool, cool. And we'll put that on there, that on there, and we're kind of ready-ish, sort of. So I guess I'll just crack on with the actual starting the game, but I can chat about. So I'm now no longer using Restream to stream to both YouTube and Twitch. I didn't really enjoy that. I found it very annoying, for one thing, but also Restream is clunky, to say the least. So, yes, single player. Why does that keep... That's really annoying. It's going to do that all the time, isn't it? Fine. Right, yes, so new game, and we will just play free play. I'm probably going to do something akin to a Rail World, I think. But, oh, it's interesting, Rail World doesn't change the other planets. That's interesting. Oops, I think I just... I think I just automatically accidentally scrolled them down to 0, basically. Yes, but what we're going to do, I think, is because Rail World by default turns off enemy expansion, so I want to turn that back on. Yeah, why can I not get rid of that? I don't want to see all that crap. Don't appear to be able to turn it off. Brilliant, okay. It's got like little banners at the top of the chat now, and I can see them changing in the corner of my eye, and that's really very annoying. Perhaps if I do, let's see, if I do that, maybe I can just hide them, is what I'm thinking. Like cover them over with something. There we go, that'll do. A very clunky solution, but there he is. Never let it be said that one of the great companies of the world made their software good. Okay, yes, so we'll turn the enemy expansion back on, just to give it a little bit more of a, I guess, challenge. And let's have a look. I think I'm going to preview seeds, I think. We'll go for something a bit more grassy than it often picks out. So not on peaceful. Do I want to push them back a bit to give me a little bit more breathing room? I'm not entirely sure how long this will be a series for, because there's obviously the version 2.1 coming with the early access version, I guess. It's basically the beta test starting, I think they said end of June, didn't they? I got mixed up. So basically in a month. So it's only, what, 5 weeks away before that comes to everybody, sort of thing. So I will be switching to that, and I would probably start a new game again. I don't know. This is not a bad starting, because coal's fairly clear, close to the water. We've got what might be at least be a bottleneck there. Couple of nice oil patches. Bit sparse on the iron, maybe, compared to copper. I think we'll just go with this. I don't see any good, like, ideal steel points where you've got like iron and coal together. Yeah, I think we'll just go with this one. Oh. Ah. Oh yeah, see, yeah, because yeah, it's fine. Because I'm doing a rail worldy type of thing. So let's just let the engineer crash. I thought about actually doing. There's a save I've been playing. I've just called it chill. I'd sort of wondered if I would turn it into the. I want to revive eventually the series I did before of like the aesthetic Factorio, for example, and sort of do them in 2.1. But so it has Dectorio enabled and what do you call them? Text plates, for example. So I was thinking about that, but I thought we'll just do something new. It does. I've never really read that, I don't think. Right, so let's turn alt on. And did alt turn on? Yes, there we go. Grab me bits and pieces, which I usually forget to do. There, boop, boop. And then let's grab a couple of trees while we're here, since they're really, really close. Nice. Have we got any big rocks? It might be a bit lacking because of number of trees. Is that one? Yeah, there we go. There's a bit of coal in there. Oh, we've got one on the actual iron patch. Cool. So yes, I was always going to take a break over Christmas. I think I've explained this before. I was always going to take a break over Christmas, a longer one. And it just kind of turned into not streaming. I just found because I was obviously streaming at that point 3 hours both Saturday and Sunday, which when you add in faffing about time, meaning setting up and putting it down as it were, is basically a working day's worth of streaming. It's 7.5 hours, so I was effectively spending of my weekend. Got quite a nice crop here of coal rocks. I was effectively, spending a day working, and let's be frank here, nobody really watches my streams, which I don't mind fundamentally, but it's a lot to do for no real reason, particularly since, as I say, no one watches, but also I was trying to do other games, and again, no one's really interested. So again, which is completely fine, but why spend the time when you got a series like the Law Speculation, which people are watching, even though it's small numbers, it's small beer in the grand scheme of things. They're going to be a problem quite quickly, aren't they? Because there's no real tree protection for them. Okay, and maybe you'll be all right because loads of trees there. Okay. We've got enough plates for a debris. We have. Let's stick one of them on. Make a few of them. And then stick a bit more of that in there. And then another one. Cool. And we can. Oops. Get the thing going. And there. Cool. So it'll get us a bit more coal. What if I go and hand mine a little bit of copper and grab a few trees? We can also see if we've got any other. Well, these might be. No, okay. It's always a bit of a shock, I think, coming back to the very, very start of the game. You sort of forget how to play and not what the very basic commands are. So there's always a bit of a moment. Ah, there's one there. Of like, wait, what's going on? I think it's actually the route. I've been trying to work it out. What it is that, because I mentioned before that I find it a little. What would you call it? I don't even know how to phrase it. Like unsatisfying. When you're going to other planets, they're sort of and I think it's the start. You're basically starting again every time. Obviously, take as much with you as you want. So maybe that I should focus more on that. You know, get big rock there. Develop some blueprints I can just slack down. You know, fill in, take everything with me, bootstrap quickly, as it were. So I'm thinking I'll try that at some point. Oh, there's a one. Yeah, it's the fact that you sort of go back to scratch and you just, you know, you're hand mining stuff again, and you don't quite. I say you don't quite have to go burner tech, but it gets, you know. So you're effectively restarting 5 times. And then say the planets are almost over before they start, sort of thing. It's an interesting balancing choice, basically. Oh, did I not grab them? I did not grab them. So we want 2, 3. We want 2 more on the iron, just for now, and 1 on the copper, and then we want 1 on stone as well. We want some boxes to put our stone in. Cool. What have we done there? We've done the steam power. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Boop, boop. I'm sort of quite glad that 2.1 is coming, but not from a, you know, content point of view or what have you. It feels like, I don't know. One of the things they kept saying was like almost deferring some things to 2.1. So it's like, you know, that'll be in 2.1, or, you know, it became a sort of a meme-y thing. But it did leave it like, well, is this the final game? You know, what else are they going to introduce? So for it to actually be at that stage, are there any of these coal bearing? No. Oh, I already did that page, didn't we? Kind of feels that now I can actually play it without fear, as it were. It's funny, I never had that problem, you know, playing a. I suppose it's different because it is, you know, spaceship didn't really launch in early access. It launched as complete, and then they changed a lot of stuff. Well, not a lot of stuff. Made some tweaks. Whereas early access is part of the thing, isn't it? That's what it is. It means it's going to change. I can still see it flicking the dang banner. So we've got circuits as well. Excelente. So we've got to make a lab. We've got to make all the usual bits and pieces, haven't we? Is that a rock coal one? No. Oh, we've got a nice patch here as well. Coaly rocks. Which is a very convenient way of doing it, this, with the rocks, because you don't produce any pollution. Not that I'm that fussed about that, but as I say, we've got some guys quite close who might be a little bit angry. I mean, they're always angry, they bite us. No. Cool. I bet you've got coal as well, haven't you? You have. Oh, both of you have. Excellent. So yes, I'll no longer be streaming to YouTube at the same time as Twitch. I will just stream to Twitch, but I will put all my VODs, as I was used to, on YouTube, but they will now be going on my second channel, which is Triggle's VODs and Sods, based on the British expression of odds and sods. But yeah, Triggle's VODs and Sods is my second channel, so hopefully if people are wanting to catch up on those, there always used to be a core of people who would watch the VODs, basically. So I always see, you know, a handful of views every. When I used to put, you know, when I did the when I was just Twitch before. I missed them, didn't I? And then we'll grab the iron. Cool, cool. How much iron did I? 36. So I can build now a couple of steam engines, a boiler, an offshore pump, a bunch of poles, one of them for safety, one of them. Got some boxes, but we'll do another one. So we need copper, so we can build on lab. Have we got enough iron for that? Probably not. Maybe. But yeah, we'll top this back up again. Let's see what we got in terms of copper. Nice, 47. Cool. Yes, we can build a lab. Excellent. It's all my bits, isn't it? So we don't actually unlock now the lab. I've no idea whether we're going to get extra Friday Facts between now and end of June. It's sort of set up that they could do some. Let's do the radar first, I think. Yeah, and then mining drill. I guess we should do turrets, military repair packs. But where do we want to stick automation? I guess we want automation before, really, don't we? Okay, that's my choices made. We need 10 of them. Okay, where do we want to start this? So it'd be convenient to have a coal kind of come in that way, wouldn't it? So if we get rid of these trees. It's TwitchCon apparently this weekend. I would kind of wonder what the point of TwitchCon was. I guess if you're like a big creator or you're a fan of a big creator, then maybe. But it seemed very random. I guess that's just me. Let's put you there. And we'll do a little bit of a gap. Yeah, so that we don't interfere. I've done that the wrong way around, haven't I? It really wants to be. I'm going downwards. It wants to be that way. Okay. Let's put that pipe on then. Boop de boop. And then I'll just pop that inside how it is. And then ghost that. And then we want one there. One there. One there. Oh no, we don't want one there. Missed. Missed! Cool. In fact, I don't normally put them, so it's easier to build that one in. Yeah, there we go. And then we want doot. I guess let's put that there. Cool. And then we want a bunch of coal in there. Excellent. And then just put that there. Oops. One of you. It's just a box for now. Oh, I didn't get an inserted. That. Oh, I don't need the coal. In fact, I'll just pop it in there. In fact, I'm just going to whack them in for now. I don't really need to bother with that, do I? And then, how much is automation then? So that's 20, and that's 10. So I do need more. Let's go get some. What are we missing? Missing both, I think. come up to the end of the first season. I said this on the Friday Facts video of the law speculation videos. First season, because basically I've sort of reached a conclusion. Hopefully, well, my intention was to try and get them to work as a, you know, they flow into each other. I didn't quite succeed. I wasn't very. It's because I sort of wrote them a bit randomly in a sense. But yeah, it was kind of the original aim. I say it didn't quite work. Yes, but the last one is on, or the last one of this season is on Prometheum Science. Having just done Prometheums, how many more of them can we make? So we can make a whole loader them. Let's put that right up to 50 odd. In fact, no, let's not do that yet. Let's do another 6 of those, and then so obviously we need 50 for a full furnace stack, so we'll do iron first, as it's our pressing priority for now. I could do with some more power poles. Cool, and we'll set up, you know, mini belt production, mini inserter production, what have you, as part of our first little bit of automation. Yeah, for now we need to ramp up production. Let's have a look at pollution cloud. Yeah, so they'll be safe in the sense that we've got all them trees to absorb all that pollution. These guys not so much, so by the time we're probably hitting them, we should have military stuff up and running. Oh, we've not finished radar. I thought we might have finished radar. We've not finished radar. Okay. Right. So instead, let's put down a couple of extra laddies. The other thing I've done, I thought people might object. Like people watching the normal version. But I'm doing, if there are more Friday Facts rather than early access for members, I'm going to do I don't really need more than another one. I'm going to do extended cuts basically. So some little bits of my wibble, nothing spectacular or game changing for the video, but the first one is 8 minutes longer, but you'll know how I can wibble on. Right. Oh, we have, oops, no. We have done radar now. Cool, let's get one of them up and running. I've not done any armour, have I now? And then I guess we should get a couple of magazines as well. So let's pop you there. So it instantly expands our coverage. Cool. Right, so our automation is not actually finished. Let's go and get a bit more resources then. Oh, we need a couple more of them because my maths didn't work somehow. So yeah, so I did my classic thing in the Friday Facts of, you know, they don't list everything, so therefore there must be something in the there's no new X, Y, and Z. I don't think there will be. I think it really is. To be honest, I think there's an element, how to phrase it, I wonder about, because a few of the devs, I don't know about maybe all of them, maybe, you know, joined in order to develop Factorio. So there's a little bit of an element of they probably needed maybe coaxing along to you know, to be interested in, and also some of them, as it said in the thing, some have been there a long time, and you know, people want to do something different, you know, so they're going to move on naturally anyway. 4, 5, so 5 of them, 2, 3, 4, 5, couple of them, and a couple more boxes. We've got plenty of power poles, and then we'll just make some more ammo just for the time, you know, to use up what we got. Okay, so gonna have my usual challenge of remembering how the heck, I think first of all, if I maybe give myself a little bit more room, and then so if we end up with one there, then this one doing red potions, I don't want that, goes that one there, and then you need iron plate, that's right, iron gear wheels and copper, don't you? So if you had a machine there doing that, but then if we want to make belts we also need iron plate, so we could, if we had an iron platey one there, I would say I sort of work this out separately every single time I play. It's one of those, it's because I'm not doing it, you know, it's like hundreds or dozens of hours between when I do it each time. We're gonna need another assembler, aren't we? Okay. So I'm going to put a box there, and that's going to have, where are you going to output to? Do your output there. Because I usually, well, how I've done it before is that, because green obviously takes iron things, so maybe if I do that then, yeah, and we have a kind of extra one there so that we can have a little bit of gears ourselves. Doesn't quite, oh yeah, that covers it all, there we go. Okay, let's go get some more iron. Oh, there I go, there I go. Nice. Let's go get copper just for the sake of it. Don't really need it, but no new clues though on what the new game is. Obviously, but people seem convinced it's an RPG, which maybe. I hope they're not trying to build an MMO. I know they're good, but tiny team MMO, well, might be folly. It usually is. How much coal we got in there? Let's just top that off just for sake of it. And now what do we want? We want to put iron in there in a ratio, whoops, of 2 to 1. Cool. Could I make another lab? I can make another lab. Let's make another lab. I didn't actually check. So on the record, I messed up the positioning of my, well, of everything. So basically, there's like a weird wedge at the top, like above my head, which is actually the ceiling. Because I'd forgotten to crop the top of the thing, because I've completely rearranged this room to make it easier for me to like record videos and stuff. while also still, you know, doing live streams and what have you. So eventually that'll be green. What should we call it? But for now, we can sort of take that as red, as it were. So if we wanted to do, say, inserters, or I could maybe, if I do a box, like so, and then pass them on. So do 2 of them, maybe 1 of them, and then this is T-Ransport belts. What was I going to build there? Another assembler. So then that could be gears for both of them. So you would need like that, like that, like that, like that, that in there. Maybe do power there, and there. Yeah, so we've got iron plates in there. And then you need, I mean, we could actually do both, couldn't we? I could do, because that needs iron plates as well. Oh, run out of boxes. Run out of boxes. People don't like me using wooden boxes. I don't know why. Like that, but then it also needs skirkets. That's probably a bad place for that. So we do circuits, they're also iron plate. And then, do I want to steal some circuits? I don't usually bother. One assembler down and we don't have a thing. But yeah, if we just do them in there, then we can fill that with iron and copper. It's a very unsatisfying layout of power poles. Still unsatisfying, but I'm happier. Okay, so we need materials, don't we? Okay, how are we doing with coal? Let's actually start using that. We want one more assembler, was it? I think. But let's do a couple of inserters as well. Do I want to chuck out a bunch of belts? What I really need is more iron and copper, really. So we will focus on boosting these up. Let's put our third one on here, which should be totally fine for now. And then we're going to need a bunch more of them. Oh, we've got electric miners now, okay. In which case, let's do one of them, 2 of them, some of them, 1 of them, some of them. Where am I? Let's grab some more iron. Cool, okay. I didn't cap that chest, did I? Well, actually, why don't I do that? Yeah, that's probably better. Let's make sure that one's full. We can take them. Oh, I'll take some though. I don't want to take all of them. And then we can build this. Oh, I already built the assembler. It's efficient of me. But then we put some copper in there, and then this one just wants iron, basically. Yes, that will be green thingies, and obviously that should be a fast inserter, but you know, whatever. Yes, so we need more production. So how about, can we make, What have I used up? I've used up the iron plate. Of course I have. Oh, I didn't make that. Oh, okay. Actually, let's not do it that way. Let's do that, and then that. So it should give us a little bit of buffer. But we need that. We need that extra burner inserter. Keep running out. Okay, so let's make a burner inserter. And then, how are we doing pollution wise? Yeah, you see it's creeping over. We're slowly getting towards gun turrets, so that's okay. That obviously gets us our machine gun and shotgun and lots of lovely toys. Let's do that fast inserter then. Get the lights on. Let's do loggy sticks. Okay. But yes, we need two. Whoops, we need two. Oh, it's another one's run out. We need to increase production. 5, 6. Cool. And turrets. Do 2 of them. We didn't make ammo, did we? So we want a couple of. Well, just one's fine, I think. And then maybe some more boxes. Boxes. And then like that. And then like that. Coal. Made them. I need more of those. Maybe not that many. 5 more. Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3. Oops. 3, 4. Oops. Like so. And that one's out as well. Very ungrateful of you. Let's grab the copper. I don't think we need more miners up there really. How much gun? 30 gun food. Okay. Since we do have some biters kind of north, but not too much of a problem. Let's put at least a turret there. Yeah. And then where would they come? They'd probably sweep round here, wouldn't they? So just pop a turret in there. So that when I completely forget they exist and they come and try and eat our factory, we've got something to slow them down. Cool. Lots of lovely toys. And then we want a couple more turrets as well, and we've used up all our stuff. Why don't I make that a 3 a stack? Since somebody is using up all of our coal. So I'm producing some lovely weapons. We can get rid of that. We need to make an ammo producing assembler, just so that it's chugging away, making some stuff. We need to add that burner inserter. Okay. Did I make any more? No, I didn't. Okay. Let's chug down. Right, so you need topping up. We need a chest of shame. We need that burner inserter. Cool. So now I can think about Electric mining. Take this to here. How much stones have we got? Coal, that'll do, I think. Yeah, got loads. Loads of stones. So, put that there. Do a new round. Grab our coal. Do a little top up. Will you stop running out of coal? Okay, so we'll put some more on. We'll do it on the other side. Because we need... Do I need more? We're at that sort of stage where it's like... Do you start chucking in some of them? Because what we'd then... We'd need an actual an actual smelting stack. And that means a load of belts and or we could kind of boost this up. We would probably be better for now actually increasing this. So we've got a little bit of coal from, because these guys keep running out. And that one. I don't know. Right, see about some copper. Because ideally we need to, we need the machines to do it for us. We shouldn't be doing it ourselves. We need to automate. I get sent. I think I mentioned this before. I occasionally get sent codes and for games, and a lot of them obviously because at least people kind of look. Oh, I forgot to put that turret on down the bottom. You know what I do and what my content is and stuff. They're not always total. Do get some. It's just utterly random. They're like. In fact, they actually look like form emails. It's like. As in, they're just putting in a list of names, as it were, a list of email, email addresses, because they got it from, my YouTube has my business contact, as it were, which is, just a random Gmail address. Oh, wrong thing. But yeah, they're obviously doing it from there. And you can literally tell they're just, they must be sending out. It's an e-shop basically. They're sending out 20, more than 20, 200 emails or something, 500 emails, and so it's just filling in my name. And one of the fields is clearly what game I play a lot of. So they got Trismegistus, Factorio, and it just fills those in, and you can kind of just see it in the, that's the bit that's coloured in is the autocomplete bit. But yeah, some of them, they clearly do. They have had a look at what I do, and so in other words, I get sent automation games, but I find it very difficult, and a lot of them ape Factorio, they're because it's kind of the daddy of the genre. Although I appreciate, it's not the originator, but it's kind of the benchmark, I think, by which we might compare them all. And so some of them are just so close to it, they're just basically the same game. So I'm interested in substructure because it's got a lot of that same DNA, but it looks like it's probably going to be a bit different. And I don't mind I'm not saying that I don't want them all to be, massively weird takes on the genre. Although some are really interesting that I've done, like the Snacktorio and stuff. I quite like that one. I actually went to that I played the demo multiple times on that. Don't think it's out yet, but But yeah, a lot of them, it's literally just, it's like Factorio, but you can spin the camera. And so it's like, okay guys, but what's your hook? What's your pitch? What is it that's going to get people to play it? You know, your Dyson Sphere program is a perfect example because it's very, very similar to Factorio, and that has a spinnable camera. But the whole thing of it is you're building a Dyson Sphere. That's super cool. So that's your hook to play in. Oh, Bliss Pomtix, how you doing? Factorio, but without all the quality. Exactly, yeah, and that's the worst thing about it. You're chugging through and you're like... And it's like some of them, they have tiny... It's almost like a mod, basically, for Factorio, where it's like... You're literally just going... So your idea is an inserter that can reach across 3 belts or something. That's basically what you've got as your idea. Well, you could, as in, right, normal inserter is 1 and long-handed is 2, and this is 3. Basically, that's your big innovation. Okay, well, why isn't that just a mod? Why do you think someone's going to buy a game just for a three-lane inserter? And to me, as I say, I know Factorio. Well, obviously, I do a whole load of videos about. I don't know why I keep picking up all that coal about lore and all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't have any. And I think they're sort of taking that as like, well, that's how you make one of these games. You don't bother with the lore, which, okay, I see where you're coming from. But if you want me, there's got to be something extra. If you can't think of a brilliant new mechanic, then at least give me a cool reason to play the game. Like I'm gonna build a space station or something interesting, and then maybe I'll be happy with just repeating Factorio again. Right, so if I'll just whack them in while we're here. But what we need is a lot more material. Yes, as you say, like the other way of doing it. Oh, I don't need copper in there. Would be to go, well, we've done Factorio, but we've optimized these things and improved the quality of life so amazingly that it's worth you playing. But they're brand new games. They're not going to have spent. This game has been being developed for over 10 years. Yeah, it released as a proper game, whatever it was, 5 years ago. So you're not going to beat it in terms of its quality of life. The one with the platform that goes up and down would be nice as a Factorio mod. Yeah, so that's substructure. Yeah, well, I'm hoping there's more to it than that. I know that's why. I think the thing that's hurting them there is probably the look, because it does look like Factorio. But I'm kind of hoping there's more to that one. So because it's the Ultra Cube mod, dev, and that's one of the most interesting concepts for a mod, I think, because it is properly different and properly weird sort of thing. Not, if I'm totally honest, that I've given it a go. But I've watched a couple of playthroughs, and it is an interesting idea. So I'm hoping there's something like that. But yeah, if it's just literally Factorio, but you can go up and down. I'm also quite hopeful. I'll be honest, the publisher, Hooded Horse, is actually quite good. They do a lot of interesting... I think I took all the coal out of them by accident. A lot of games I'm either interested in or I've got. I do seem to be able to pick them. And they're almost nice people, as I understand it. How are we doing? So we're chugging through the red sciences. Should I queue up any more? I guess we should do the green. Get ourselves some... Oh, I've got the walls on there already and the belts. Steel, and then we're kind of ready, willing and able. for stacks, furnace stacks. We've got some lights. Maybe see what we're doing for a change. How many gun foods did we do? Putting them in there. What about this? How are you doing? You've got plenty. Cool. Oh, I never put those in. So coming up to 60 rounds. It's creeping over. Oh, you may be a problem as well, but you're going to be difficult to deal with. Is that going to reach them? I've got all these trees here. Probably will, because it will sort of sneak around. That's annoying. Yeah, I could well see them getting triggered. And it's only two nests, so very dealable with. Yeah, the substructure stuff I'm going to put. I'm not going to treat the second channel like I'm actually building it up into something. I'm not. It's almost just going to be a dumping ground for the stuff I don't want on the main channel. But yeah, so like the VODs and equivalent of Friday Facts on those. I don't worried. It's not quite the right word, but I don't think they're going to do an equivalent to Friday Facts for this new game. Will be. I mean, they kind of did it because it was because it was kickstarted. That was their way of doing the communication. And if you read a lot of the very early Friday Facts, they're all over the place. There's a lot of just irrelevant nonsense. And they're also, a lot of them are massive. They're like novels, basically. But yeah, I think they got it down to fine art eventually. And for me, I think it's one of the best communications that a dev has ever done. Kind of a model for it. But I imagine they, I always also got them 200 belts. Okay, so we're getting there. We could probably start our iron furnace array, couldn't we? Because we need more inserters though. Can I double that? I can. I've got 100 inserters nearly. What about power poles? Maybe chuck a few of them. I never put the lamps down, did I? Let's put one there. There. Coal. How are we doing with coal? Right, boilers. Yeah, I suspect, I sort of suspect they won't, because it'll feel like, too much work in a sense. There's also that thing always of the kind of difficulty with it is that people don't get that things can change massively during development. And so they're like, well, people like me doing videos going, oh, this is going to be in the game, that's going to be in the game, and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like they decide to abandon the feature because it's not fun in particular. And then everyone gets upset. And you think, and it's like things like quality and the fluid change. I could see them getting a bit scarred on, like, well, we're being open and honest with you here, and you're just moaning and being gamers, basically. So why should we bother talking to you? It's better if you never knew it existed than you thought you were getting it and then lost it, as it were. Okay. Any goals or conditions for this playthrough? Not really, no. I mean, it's built as a rail world. I don't know if you saw from the beginning. It's just, set up as a rail world, which only apparently applies to the to Nalvis. It doesn't adjust the settings for the other planets, which is interesting. But no, it's just like filler, you know, because I didn't know if anyone was going to watch. You know, and chat about the Friday Facts, what they thought of it. I mean, there isn't a lot, I wouldn't say, other than doing completely wild speculation about what might be these minor features and things like that. You know, they don't really hint at anything. As I said, they don't mention the new game basically at all, other than sort of they're working on concepts and ideas. So there's no hints to chew on there. So no, this is just like I need to, you know, I'm I'm autistic and I need something to do. I can't just do let's chat, as it were. So I think probably, I mean, that copper's going to be a pain in the backside to bring down. We could do the furnaces there. In fact, that's probably better, isn't it? Because it's sort of in between then. Also maybe taking advantage of the tree cover, although I don't remember where the biters were. These guys aren't getting bothered yet. Yeah, I think we'll do the furnace stack over here. Okay. And then this is fairly clear down here, isn't it? So yeah, it's just a play through for a couple of weeks. And then presumably 2.1, you know, will come out when they said it would. In whatever that would be, 5 or 6 weeks' time. And I can either carry this on, depending on, you know, if there's anything super early game that they do. I can't think there would be. But if there is, I can just keep going with this, or we can just switch to a new playthrough. Because I've done Railworld and stuff, some of the... I can't really even do like an achievement run, because I think the ones that's disabled are ones I, you know, don't have, as it were, and I've got the others. So yeah, no particular goals. I'm finally continuing my mega base after having decided on a new train system. Oh, right, what's your new train system then? I wonder whether I'll bother creating a new base for 2.0. I think it's really dependent on... Yeah, if they stick something in at the very, very beginning, then maybe, you know, some amazing quality of life improvement to burner technology. But otherwise, I think it's probably a just upgrade it sort of thing. Because yeah, I can't see them. I'll be honest, I can't see them fiddling. I mean, they did fiddle with ammo, didn't they? They made the armor-piercing rounds like cheaper, didn't they? So they might do something like that, maybe. But I think, you know, Factorio base game is done basically, and what has been for a while. So really, it's about tweaks for Space Age. So things like quality, letting you do quality trains, for example. I think that's what we're talking about more than anything else. I came down here to restock them, but I didn't bring any iron with me because I'm an Egypt. What was I doing? So we need mining drill. That's it. That's what I'm forgetting. I should really let's put a couple of safety engines and stuff in. Power powers, just a few more. And I guess we could do, a couple of inserters in just because, and then a bunch of belt. I was going to bring the coal down to the engines first. Let's put you where? One there, and then with the radar, I think. Triple roundabout with elevated rails and a 161 trains, crikey. Triple roundabout, as in 3 concentric roundabouts, or I think I'm still. I think after all these years, I'm still scarred from roundabouts. First time I ever tried to play big. You know, like play big, go big. I had roundabouts as my train system, and it was just a nightmare. I just hated every single second of it, because soon as you stop looking, the trains would log jam and something. And this was probably more a reflection of me not being able to do signals, you know, particularly well, sort of thing. But oh my god, I just, you know, never again. Plus, trains don't go round roundabouts. I know they have them turnstile-y things, but actual trains don't actually go round actual roundabouts. There's me begging for a bit of realism. I mean, we're watching quite a few actually sort of beginner videos, not as in people playing it for the first time and going, you know, what's this Factorio game all about? It's been quite fun actually. Because people don't, yeah. No, I don't. That's silly. In fact, let's put a little bit in. And then we can get rid of them, do that. But yeah, sort of seeing people's spaghetti bases and all that sort of stuff is always quite fun. Hello, Senna. Welcome. Hi, Mark. Not sure if I actually want more in Factorio, but it's still a bit painful to think it's complete. Yeah, it's sort of, it was bitter. I don't know about, I mean, I'm about as emotional as a brick, but I did sort of, there was a sort of a moment of, I don't know about lump in the throat, but a sort of, oh, it's all coming to an end then. I mean, it isn't, you know, they're going to be supporting the game and blah blah blah. I say eventually one of them will go, why don't I just stick this in, you know, as a sort of a thing, or well, like, I mean, because quite a few of them have done mods. You know, if you look on the mod portal, you'll see like quite a few of the devs have actually done mods. So I'm sure there'll be things like that where they're like, well, I want this type of, you know, mechanic in the game, and sort of add it on. Quality downgrading would also be good. Interesting. Do you mean as in a machine that... So like the recycler could downgrade things, as in you put in legendary and it spits out lower, or do you mean... What else could you mean? I think because you can do that with the upgrade planner. I really think that part of the game, that's not, I don't think that it's solvable, but the whole, you know, when you're using an upgrade planner and, you know, blueprints, partly it's because it sort of changes ratios and stuff. It's like just slapping a blueprint upgrade, you know, upgrade to level, you know, level 2 or whatever it is, uncommon assemblers or what have you. It's not actually quite the same, but the whole upgrade planner and blueprints, it's all a bit sort of, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it quite works, but I don't know that how you would get it to work, if you see what I mean. It's sort of a bit of a knotty problem, that one. So we got them, we got, probably do need a few more belts, so I might as well take them. Oh, we're doing at least going to need one more of those, because that's got used in the whatchamacallit. Cool. Did I make more? I did. I got 8 mining drills, and I've run out of iron, run out of coal in my iron smelters. But obviously, if I have. Roundabouts with ramps in between in a way that allows 3 trains crossing each other. Crikey. Actual trains are much longer. Factorio must grow. Vague items lower quality again. Yeah, and of course modular blueprints. Yeah. It would be quite, yeah. I mean, it would be quite useful to be able to balance up the quality. If you see what I mean? I guess, particularly around. So like, because rockets. I mean, this is. I mean, the other option would be for rockets to actually take, you know, for quality rockets to mean something and what have you. But yeah, being able to sort of downgrade rocket fuel that's got to your you know, got to your whatchamacallit, your silo would be kind of useful, but you know, use them, you know, the good stuff as it were for trains, as it were. Okay, so if we do that as the coal, then actually I want to, let's just do, if we do oops, there, and then I could use my blueprints, but whatevs. So we want, oh, I haven't got, oh, I have got undergrounds, but I haven't got any iron plate. Okay, brilliant. Cool. There, and then snap the grid, relative. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. Cool. Get rid of that. And then, oh, I didn't grab the iron plate, so we won't do that for the moment. Put them in. Them. You in. Oops. Yeah, so it could be quite an interesting. It could be a like additional function, couldn't it, for a recycler? Of like, it also does downgrading. So effectively, in a weird way, it comes along and beats up your stuff. So it's basically going, making it worse. Actually, I could do that, couldn't I? So you sort of forget how to do the early game, and like the little tips and tricks that you use, like this. You spend so long in the, you know, having bots and just slapping down blueprints. Cool. So I need to hook this up. First, in fact, let's get that iron. Oh, you've not run out of coal again, have you? Biters the OG downgraded. Someone's done a mod, haven't they, of like I don't know what they've called it, but it's like turns the biters effectively into like concerned residents rather than, you know, horrible monsters. I mean, they're horrible monsters still, but as in they basically turn up to deliver petitions when you know, instead of, you know, when reacting to pollution. I don't know what it's called. I think I might give it a go, but it's sort of, it just seemed like a very, you know, funny tweak, as it were. Oh, I didn't set that to green, did I? But yeah, they sort of turn up to a building and like deliver petitions of like, you know, complaining that you're producing too much pollution. What's he going to do? I need to build something undergrounds, overgrounds, rumbling free. So I dumped all that iron in them boxes and didn't make what I wanted to make. Right, so we need more. It's undergrounds. We can run out of copper. Oh, you're not out of coal again. Typical. Going to do, so I've been working on scripts for the second season of the Law Speculations. I mean it's probably beginning shorter. I don't know. I'm sort of running out of topics in a way. What I might sort of fill in with is people have given a lot of sort of interesting ideas, and quite a few of them like repeating, if you see what I mean, as in the same ideas. And do some videos exploring those, but as I said with the whatchamacallit, the what's it called? Biomass theory that someone posted. I felt like I kind of attacked their, not in a, I didn't think it was too heavy, but it was a bit. I was a bit sort of like, well, I don't think that's right. It's and that's not really what I was intending. Right. Why am I sending that up when, I guess because I want to get the copper. Yeah, let's just send it up. So yeah, that's kind of the balancing act with those. Is like, I don't want to be. Oh, I didn't actually make the inserters. What an idiot. Nasty about anyone else's theory, because it's just not what I'm really intending it to be. It's not what that's about. Is that going to repeat properly? So yeah, it might take some work to get that to work properly, as it were. I'm happy with that, and it helps, as I say, if there's multiple people. Now, multiple people have done the same sort of idea, then I can collectivise it and just sort of say this, this general theory, as it were, rather than this. It's the difference between I think this theory is wrong and I think you're wrong. I'd rather not do the latter. Cool. In fact, let's just plug that one in. I'll do that one as the coal, or the coal will be better on the top, I think. Yeah. So if we do, no, I've done it the other way around, haven't I? In fact, don't need the inserters then, really. If I just do, then how do I get it in? It's more problematic, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So that one needs to be the coal. And now this can be the iron. Or the first of the irons. Cool. So we need to hook this up to a bit of coal. Where are we going to do that? If we go, and then do it sort of here, maybe. Oops. Have I run out of belt? I've run out of belt. There is something someone showed where you can. No, it won't do it, will it? Because it was on a blueprint, I think. I can't remember what it was, but it like auto-completed the belt. It auto-built the belt. That was a strange one when they introduced that and then took it back out again. We could just, you know, build a long chunk of belt. I'm guessing Kovrex took the game away and played it and hated it. Right, so get me a bit more transport belt. How are we doing with our box of gun food? Okay, so we do need more there. Are we out of basic red science? No, we're not. We've got, well, heavy armour, but we can't actually use it. How much? It's only 30. Let's stick that one on. And then we'll leave green science for a little bit. And we'll top up these dang burner miners. Et tu, Brute? Okay. So pollution is holding fast on hitting these guys, which is good. Cool. 5 of those left. Okay. Let's hook this up then. Put that too close, haven't I? Be funny if they completely overhauled fluids again or something like that. Because it's interesting. I mean, there is a bit of a thing of it of like, what do you actually regard as, you know, if they're saying it's like minor features only, what exactly is a minor feature? You know, like where do you draw the line? Because was fluids a minor feature? You know, fluids are already in the game, so it was just like redoing it effectively. It wasn't adding fluids, it was, you know, editing what they already had. Okay, so oh, there, which means that undi is wrong, isn't it? Alright, and then so we've got, that's then, so that's copper or stone, and then that's copper or stone, and then one for steel, iron for steel, and then steel. Cool. Let's get the copper one. Do I want to get the copper one yet? I could just sort of fill these up really, couldn't I? If we grab the contents of these, do I need to keep these around still? I guess, because I could start sort of properly filling the miners up, you know, so they don't run out anytime soon. How are we doing on time? 5:20. Cool. Yeah, let's put plenty in them. So yeah, so streams will only be 2 hours. Is my kind of intention / plan. If we do get more Friday Facts and they're like super juicy and there's loads to discuss, so I don't think there is a lot. So I'm happy to chat about anything, but I don't think there's a lot to really talk about it in this one. but I have no insider information on whether there's, you know, more coming. None of them have reached out to me and say, you know, actually there will be a bunch of these over the summer or what have you. We've already written them, you know. I mean, not that they would anyway. Wouldn't tell me, but no, I don't know. I didn't grab the iron. What an idiot. So they could start appearing again, and we could have some juicy things to chew on. I could overinterpret all sorts of silly things, just like I did before. I mentioned in the video that it's things that for me, as I did sort of let's grab half of them, write them in, and are you full? You're full, okay. So we can put, say, 2 in there. So I did sort of fully expect. What did I fully expect? That the stuff in my 2.1 wishlist video, that none of that would happen. Some of it I think was a bit more likely, maybe, but I wasn't really expecting it. But things like the control, you know, the display panel thing, I really hope they've done something with that, because that's just such a disappointment. Let's make a few more of them. Coal. And then we can set up the... In fact, should we get the inserters? Yeah, inserters. Let's leave it chugging away on them. And then... I'm just wondering about setting up a little one doing a bunch of furnaces so I can then fill this in. How many would I need? I would need 50, 100, 150, 200, so it's like 4 stacks, isn't it? Okay, let's do one. Chugging. In fact, why don't we add stone in now? If that came down... don't know why I've undergrounded it there. So I could do, say, so if that was second iron, then that could be stone. Second iron, second breakfast. That, so that would go, say, there, and let's put it there. Oops. That's a there, but we'll flip that one round, get it into... oh, I didn't build the actual assembler. And then we've got a couple of boxes, a couple of inserters. Cool. So we'll just pop that there, pop that there. I will put a light on, and we will go doot. 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 I suppose the other thing is an odd possibility I might get invited. I guess because I was at the LAN thing, I might get invited to do the beta version of, you know, the closed beta. They'd be better off asking like the modders and stuff though. I don't know that I really added any particular value. Oh, we're out of stuff. Cool. I don't know what I'd do if they do that. I guess it really depends on if we're getting Friday Facts. Okay, so we don't want to kind of overload a power grid. Well, we're not struggling, but you know, we don't want to just, you know, there's nothing, you know, we can manage on a trickle of iron just for now. You know, it's that classic thing of if you let it just chug away in the background, it makes a million things for you. If we hook up, say, so kind of the wrong way around, really, aren't they? But it is what it is. So if we do, say, if that was like that, but what am I thinking? So things are in place in order for me to. I'll do the iron there, second iron for steel. So then this needs to be the stone, I guess. Let's just put it up there. Oops. In fact, no. If we do say that, I can bring the copper in from over there. So that would be iron goes in, but steel feeds into steel here. Then copper there, stone here, I guess, somewhere. Get some stone bricks, make some walls, etc. Okay, so we need to hook this one up as copper. What you say? There-ish. Doot, doot. Need more power poles. What was I saying? Wrong side for that. Oops. Yes, so I'll be streaming to Twitch exclusively, back to like I used to be. And VODs will go up on my second channel, Triggles, VODs and Sods, if anyone wants to watch them. And I will also be doing non-Factorio content over there. In particular, I'm very interested in doing one on this substructure kind of. It's not really a design document. It's more like a, scientific ideas that might work. So, for example, because it's a rogue planet, what you're exploiting, what you're mining, and that place that you do the different layers on is a rogue planet, and it kind of explains, some options for how that might have happened, or what, is it going to hit the the Earth, and that's why we're mining it, those sorts of, or not necessarily mining it, but trying to get rid of it, find out why it's there, or find out its secrets, or what have you. Or is it just a temporary visitor? Has it come on a path that will actually take it outside of the, it won't get captured by the sun, and it'll just fly past. Yeah, it's all sorts of stuff like that, basically, which is kind of my bag anyway. Sort of my general areas of interest. So I thought it might be fun to go through it, and people can just ignore it. It'll be on the second channel. Right. Might as well fill that in. So we've got powers. Coal. Put them in. Oh, them first, rather. Oh. Let's make a couple of. I did not put the second chest on. To dump all that in. 35, okay. now. Might as well see if we can hook a little bit of stone in, so we get a bit of stone brick. How are we doing on pollution? Oh, yeah, just sneaking over. Sneaking over. So I guess let's just put them. Yeah, let's put them there. Boop and boop. Oops! I didn't pick up the thing, did I? Probably let them run dry now, since we've got lots of iron plate there and lots on the belt. And we need belt. Boop. And then boop, boop, boop. Cool. How are you doing? Yeah, you're alright. You're alright, lad, you're alright. Not got any any research running. Is it worth taking them? Might as well take them. And then what are we going there? Only 29. So if I put a load more, tons of iron plate. Got enough gun food for them. So yes, if we can get the steel, you know, it's not an achievement, is it? Research, as it were. Is that going to be enough belt? I think so. So we want to put that like that. Might just dead end that for a second. And then that in there. This one we need to. Oh, I didn't make them, did I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite looking. I'll be honest. I'm quite looking forward to having a. You know, the summer's just me playing version 2.1. You know, that sort of a thing, and then because summer's usually very quiet for streamers. So I don't really. I don't know that I ever really regarded myself as a streamer. But you know, it is usually very quiet. People take holidays and all sorts of normal person things, which I'm not sure I approve of, but it is what it is. Let's just put that as a ghost, actually. I need to actually build it. So yes, I think it'd be quite nice to have just it's like, you know, even if it is like basically they're not really changed very much at all, and it's just a sort of a normalish sort of playthrough, then I'm totally fine with that. I'm not at all disappointed that I never got to build a spaceship home. Right. Let us furnace arise. Cool, so I got copper. We're lacking stone, so we need a load of belt for that. How are we doing on time? 5:34. How many steels do I actually have to make for it? 50. Okay. Right, so let us do those two bad boys. And then where do we want to go? we go. I guess we should really start, you know, pushing towards oil type situation. We need that one as well, don't we? For trains, I think I'm just going to do my normal, what I call snaky bus thing. Might start using my blueprints, but don't know. Don't know. Haven't thought about it. Don't know. Right, let's pick up wrong one. That, and then kind of recycle the coal. Okay. I didn't see. I did that, and then I forgot to pick up the actual iron plate. Let's get a copper as well, actually. But yeah, it's going to be quite nice to have I think just I'll just bimble around talking to myself all summer, playing 2.1. I might as well get rid of that actually, mightn't I? But let's leave it. Leave it for now. So, iron, copper, who needs what? Let's put one in there, two in there, one in there, two in there, two more in there. Let's take that ammo. Because our friends the biters can't be that far away from giving us a visit. But I'm also going to bump that up. Take them and handcraft a few more of them. Cool. Probably not going to be enough belt, is it? But let's give it a go. Well, we might just have enough. So I'm not. These aren't full on. You know. As you can see, I'm just doing a little bit because it's really iron that we kind of need the most of. I'm going to fill out these later. How much steel are we at? It must have done the achievables. Yeah, so we should be able to make... Oh, I need more copper. Level 2 armour. Okay, how are we doing? Right, I've got 31 belts left. Okay, let's make a few more. Let's also grab that. How are we doing with power? Plenty of headroom still. But if we're that far with only one real proper running array, that won't cover us, I don't think, for when everything is up and running. Especially since we don't have very many miners. So let us, first off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did I get 8? Did I? We shall see. We will copy. Boop. And boop. Oh. 2, 3, 4. No, I did miss one. No, I didn't. 1, 2. Yeah, there we go. So the series I'm going to work on as well, as kind of the next thing post law, is like looking at machines, particularly something like the steam engine, because I'm sort of fascinated by the style of Factorio, because they do a lot of stuff with what you might think of as archetypes, essentially. Like this is a steam engine, okay, but it's actually like 3 steam engines, I think, because there's 3 boilers, except they can't be boilers because this is effectively, well, this is a boiler. So this is the thing producing the steam. So these must be the equivalent of the like the expansion, you know, the whole pumping thing for steam. And that's why they've got the rotary. Effectively, that's the steam's you know, it's the whole. It's a piston, effectively. You know, it's a sort of a steam's going in and out, which is why it's got multiple pipes connecting into it. But then, sort of that middle one doesn't, sort of thing. It's like sort of there's some things that are not quite right. It's not you know, it doesn't matter in a sense, but it's then you've got, so how it's actually generating electricity is this rotary thing here, which is effectively a mini turbine, and then this is a whole gearing to turn up down motion into the appropriate, you know, rotary motion in order to generate the power. But it sort of works on archetypes. It's like, well, it's a steam engine system, so it must have a big tank where steam is doing steamy things, pushing up a piston. But it's like, does it really work? Because we've also got a whole pumping thing going on here. But yeah, they're sort of fascinating for me. And so when you do that side of it, this is clearly the power generating. That's the dynamo, effectively. And yeah, it's like they're instantly rusty, you know, because they would be, you know, of course they're rusty. It's diesel punk, and it only really has. I mean, it's like 2. It's always, you know, there's only 2 models. It doesn't flip. This isn't the. You can't have it the other way round. It always has to have that rotating bit on this side. But yes, like the series would be just looking at them, I say visually, and sort of say talking about the archetypes that they're kind of based on, but then also how do they actually work. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea with that series. So I think linked quite well to the old law speculation, because that is, well, how does this universe work, you know? That's my thinking anyway. Okay, so let's get rid of you and then redistribute. In fact, we might as well, so I'm going to pick these up now, stick all that in. How are we doing on power now? We have plenty of headroom. Okay. What we lack then are things like mining drills. Oops. One of the weirdest things I found on the... Because obviously the law speculations, like, it does get some views, you know, it's not it's not career-making levels of, you know, viewership, as it were. But one of the weirdest things is comments that basically say what I've already said, as if I haven't said it. See what I mean? So it's like, they'll go, but what about X? And it's like the entire video is basically saying X. It's very weird. I can only assume it's people who just like stop watching and just assume I haven't said the thing. It's like, I don't, you know. I sort of get that. I do get some. I mean, I find it strange, but I do kind of get the whole commenting while you're watching, or you know, before you've finished watching type of thing. I do find that a little odd, but I kind of get it. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's people who've done that. That's how I don't. What? I say it's just bizarre to me. Like, or like, you know, saying something. It's like, I guess it's the equivalent of them sort of saying this film is rubbish type of thing, and they've never actually watched it. You don't have an opinion then, do you? If you've not watched it. And I mean, I suppose there's the other thing of like, just they didn't understand what, or that, you know, didn't hear me properly, or missed that bit of the video, I guess, or something like that. I suppose that's always a possibility. But it does feel a lot like they've watched it and then, but not listened to it. You know, they just sort of stared at it and not understood. It's very strange. I mean, I never say to them, you know, but you've not watched the video, have you? But yeah, it's very strange. Particularly when because you know, having seen YouTubers make that point before and been like, why would anyone do that? That can't be right. And they do. They just comment and say, sorry, punch the microphone again. I'm not sure about this position for this microphone. Yeah. So I got close to the 2 hours. Thankfully, I've kind of got things sort of up and running. Do we want to finish off by taking out these guys? So they are just on the very cusp of getting some pollution in their face. Shall we finish it off with a little bit of combat? We've got 100 rounds of magazines, and I guess I could make a couple more turrets, couldn't I? Just in case they chew through them, or we want to do a bit more. So I'm expecting we'll only just need, you know, to turret creep one by one type thing, but is it safer to have a couple? So yeah, see if we can take these guys out. There's no worms or anything, are there? No, it's just some friendly lads. As I said on the thing, I'd love to get like a biter plushie. They seem like a really good, because you could do the legs as, you know, they're just, you know, like stitched, as it were, on the side. They don't have to be separate legs. I mean, you could do that. It wouldn't be too hard, but yeah, they seem like a pretty easy shape because they're basically relatively. Oh, I never made any repair packs today. Relatively sort of oblongy. Pentapod plushie, yeah. Grubbly alien plushie, yeah. I mean, that'd be an interesting one to because it's a bit of a deep cut the old Grubbly alien because it's not actually in the game, so it's like a plushie of something you can't actually interact with. Would be an interesting take on it. Let's shotgun our way through it as well. Cool. Yeah. Painterpod would be quite good, I think. I don't know about the strafe for that. You'd have to do that more because it's got such long, spindly legs. I don't know how it would. It'd have to have like an armature in it, or something like that, so it stops really being a plushie. But you could do like a mini, like a chibi version, as it were. And maybe its legs are just pointing out the sides, but they're not really. They won't hold its weight, as it were. It's sits on its bottom, as it were. I mean, or sit on our bottom. Silly thing to say, but it just sits on the bottom of the thing. I actually got. Have I ever shown it? I don't think I can. But I won't say who. Well, would it matter? I don't think it would matter. But they did like a 3D printed plastic wriggler. So it's just like plastic, like 3D printed. It's only small, so about sort of that big, I guess. And he gave them out to the fellow members of the team that it was on for the LAN party, which was really nice. It was a nice little thing. And it's quite a nice, it's quite a nice little thing. I mean, I'm not that au fait on 3D printing and stuff. I don't know much about it, to be honest with you, but yeah, it was just a nice little gift. But things like that, I don't know whether they did that. They were thinking about doing more merch, and that was one of the ideas they were mulling about, just like things like that. Because it's not. It's not mobile. It doesn't. You can't move. It's a fixed thing. As it was just a model, effectively. But that you could do as a sort of 3D printed, I would guess. So I don't know anything about it. It might be still have two spindly legs, but like 3D printed strafer or something like that should be able to stand up because it's got the 5 points, as it were, and you could even have one of them probably articulated, standing up, as it were. Be quite cool to try and do like a diorama, I think, of the engineer fighting the pentapods, as it were, and do like an actual like mini scene of and then small engineer and whacking great pentapod, just about to stomp its foot or something like that. That'd be quite cool. There is actually that thing, isn't there? Someone's done it's an implementation in graphically of Factorio in Unreal Engine. I'm not sure which version of Unreal, but it's like effectively like, because I think it does read in, or it can read in actual maps that you give it, and it's got like models for. I think it's only base Factorio. I don't think it does anything Space Age because it was quite a while ago. But that'd be quite cool. Sort of a scene builder, as it were. And then you could try and make it physically, sort of thing. I mean, people have done I can't remember what it's called. Is it My Bricks? You can basically order the parts to make things like trains and stuff out of Lego. So I say there's all sorts of things. Would they ever get a Lego tie-in? Might be a bit ambitious there. But. Factorio Lego. Let's see how many. What we're doing on time. 5-2. Okay, let's gather up the materials. I'm not. I say one of the things with this. I'm not averse, basically, to. I know I haven't been streaming, but I'm not kind of against doing. Particularly when the 2.1's out and I could just play that, to doing other random streams throughout the week. How are we doing? So we've got 400. Because hopefully, well, I say that. Actually, no. So I was intending to move this year. To move to because I rent basically. So I was intending to move to a new flat. Particularly because my team, the group of people I work with, are based at the other office. They're not based at where I'm based, and so it's a bit sort of. We're supposed to go into the office at least once a week. Actually, technically, we're told twice, but I'm literally on. There's no one else in my team at the office, so it is just about the most pointless dragging me into the office for the sake of it type of thing. So I'd sort of decided, well, if I move somewhere closer to the other office, and the other office is also quite up north, so it's going to be a bit cheaper rent wise and things like that. So that was my intention, and then we got the news the other day that, well, I already knew from quite a while back that they were going to restructure the team, meaning the whole department basically, so not just my team. But I'd sort of assumed that my team was not really affected by that, and we are. And I am going to be in a different team. I'm going to be in a different group with a different manager. To some extent I might be on my own. It's a bit, I'm not entirely sure why they're doing it, but like that, as it were. But it is what it is. But the basic point I'm trying to get to is that, say, I was going to be moving, so there would come a point. I didn't have any timetable for it, but I was thinking before. Well, actually, we have a new thing in the UK where renters' rights, where it's like all contracts are now rolling contracts, so you don't have to worry about, I'm coming out of my contract early, so I'd have to pay X pounds. I have thoughts on landlordism, and then none of them are positive. But yeah, so it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't have to move up, because you have to time it to the anniversary of when you moved in, but that's not a thing anymore, so that's okay. But originally that would have been October. That would have been perfect timing for 2.1. But then, as I say, I sort of found out actually you're not going to be working with this team anymore. So yeah, so it may turn out, and so it's my line manager has not been hired yet. I won't have a line manager once this kicks in, and it's meant to kick in over the summer. So if they then worked at the office that I'm currently at, then actually no, there wouldn't be any point in me moving, because I'd be moving away from. Say literally the team is going to be 3 people, as they've currently outlined it, which seems daft to me, but it'll be me, a boss and somebody else on my level, sort of thing, and that would be it. Which I don't know. So it's up to them, but doesn't sound like a very sensible arrangement to me. Because some of the other teams will be like 15 strong, and then you've got this team that's got 3 of us, including the boss. It's like, well, why have you done that? But yes, so the point there was that my plans are up in the air, basically. So where I was thinking, I'd have to sort of stop streaming or stop doing what have you in order to move. God only knows now. I don't know. We will have to see. Because the other risk is that the person they hire, I don't get on with. So we've got that. Put that in the chest of shame because we're coming up to 6 o'clock in my new short 2-hour streaming thing. Should I just grab... because I've got all of the furnaces, hopefully, that I need. So we're really talking about making belt, aren't we? Did I build... I did fasten... yeah, I did fasten. So let's upgrade these just as a final thing. Which ones do we need to do? I guess we need to do that one. And then those 2. That one. Do you need... I mean, you need iron... yours faster. So let's put you in there as well. And then ammo, we know, is quite resource heavy. So that should make that a little bit quicker, making them. Cool. Okay, so I think we'll leave it there. Yeah, tons of headroom on power. Excellent. Let's go and stand somewhere that will remind me of doing that. I probably won't be streaming. So the point of that was, that whole ramble was that I could be doing midweek streams type thing. Let's just pause that for a second. Go to the schedule. Has the schedule come up? Is my audio aligned with it? Yes, it is. Cool. Excellent. So, yes, the schedule is that I will be doing Sunday streams, basically. Sunday afternoon, just before dinner for me, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. For a couple of hours. You know, if I get really carried away or we're middle of something, or I say a Friday Facts starts appearing and they're amazing to talk about and they've got all sorts of ideas and then I'll run on a bit. But basically it's going to be 2 hours every Sunday afternoon, and that will then continue on when 2.1 releases. That will then be, we'll be streaming probably, I would expect I will just convert this over to the 2.1, load it in that version of the game, and we'll just keep going, because I'm not expecting, I'm only going, it's only 6 weeks, is it? 5 weeks off? So in that, it's 10 hours of play, so I'm going to be maybe not even into space before, given how slowly I play, before that point. Maybe not. I'm not interested about the same. I therefore probably won't be streaming this during midweek or anything like that. But when 2.1 happens, and if I don't know what I'm doing with, say, moving house or my team or anything like that, then I will possibly do some random streams, because what I am working on in the background is the whole next set of lore speculation videos. I mentioned to say that I've got this idea about doing analysing the graphics series, but also then I'll probably be doing stuff on the second channel, Triggers, VODs and Sods, which I should have put on there, shouldn't I? But I completely forgot to. Where I'll be looking at, for example, that document they produced for Substructure, but that's all going to be on the second channel. So VODs from now on, I will only be streaming to Twitch, those things, but VODs will then go on to that second channel, VODs and Sods, Triggers, VODs and Sods. To say I will try and remember to put it on the list there so you can see what it is, but literally, if you go on that channel on the YouTube there, you'll be able to find a link to it. They'll go up pretty much just when I can be asked, because it does record, it records the stream as we're doing them, so It's just uploading it and setting it live. Really, I'm not going to do anything spectacular like thumbnails or anything like that. They'll just be whatever they are. But yeah, so if you've preferred to watch VODs or want to catch up, or it's just your preferred thing of watching it like that, then you'll be able to find all of my VODs on Triggles VODs and Sods from now on. If you wanted to follow me on social, I'll try and post about what I'm doing on Blue Sky. Oh, I've left Twitter on there. I do not use Twitter. I'm now completely gone from. I mean, it's the account is still there just to keep it protected. Assuming they haven't deleted it, they might have deleted it because it's inactive. But yeah, I don't use Twitter at all. What I should be promoting though is the Discord. I did a little refresh. Somebody was like pinging me about sort of suggesting that rather than comments on YouTube videos, that they'd prefer to do like Discord type chat. I personally don't really use. It's not something I get on with. I'm not much of a social media person, full stop. But I don't really like. I prefer forums to sort of IRC type chat, basically, which Discord is much more related to IRC chat. But what I did is their suggestion is basically just has two channels. There's like I can't remember. It's called General and Factorio. So if you wanted to go on there and chat about speculation and stuff, that's the place to do it. And I will be going on there and saying there's a new video and all that sort of stuff. But or I'll try to remember to do that. But yeah, and it's more just so that if people want to use that as a channel to chat about speculation, they can do. But I will still be reading all the comments on my videos on YouTube and interacting in that way, because that's more in line with how I like to do things, really. So yeah, that's not going away. It's just that there is a tweak to the Discord and a refresh to the Discord if Discord is something that you particularly want to use. But I mean, it's not like the memberships. You're not going to get a special member area on Discord or anything like that. It's not really my cup of tea, but it was set up a long time ago, and if you want to use it, it's there, sort of thing. Is that everything? I'm just trying to look at the list of everything. Yes, so back again Sunday at 4 p.m. British Summer Time, UK time, with Factorio in general. I say what I might do, because I get these Steam key, like keys sent to me occasionally. Some of them are building and management games, but it's not something people watch when it's on the main channel. So if I do extra random streams, I might do one or two of them. For example, I got one called Iron. What's it called? Iron Lanes? I can't remember. It's got a weird name. But I did try it out. Yeah, so it's like more like a demo, really. But it was it's so Factorio you wouldn't believe it, sort of thing. It's sort of and I was like, well, I could play it, but it's like it's not really you need to do more work on it, chaps. So yeah. So is that everything? Yes. So there wasn't really any chat about 440 particularly, because there wasn't really much to speculate about. But if they do start releasing them, then these we can talk about them in a bit more detail. So yes, so if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.